What's happening, boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at some OSRS myths. Now, I would like to make this a weekly thing on the channel, and I think the best way to go about doing that is to ask you guys to chuck like myths and things you've thought about the game that you've been like, does that work like that? Or is that possible to do in the game? Those sort of like things that, you know, just pop in your head while you're playing OSRS. And what I'll do is over the week, I'll try and work them out. I'll try and like myth bust them myself. And if I can't work them out, I'll hit up the JMods and tweet them and stuff like that and get the answers from them. So I would really like this to be a weekly thing. I find this stuff so interesting. So if you want to join in, of course, if your comment is like used in the next video, you'll get a shout out and stuff, guys. So if you ever thought of anything, chuck it down in the comments. I would appreciate it massively. And if this sounds like the sort of series you would want to watch several episodes of, don't forget to click the like button, because that's the way I know that you guys want that sort of content. So yeah, if it sounds like something you want, smash that like button for me. I would appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into this week's OSRS myths. So myth number 1, does throwing a golden ring into the wilderness volcano spawn a golem? And when we talk about golem, we're talking about the golem from the Lord of the Rings, the like my precious guy. So if you go to the northeast corner of the wilderness, you'll get to this furnace, which is also a volcano, and there's a little bridge you can step on. Now if you use the golden ring on the lava or the volcanic forge, you can see my precious no and a goblin spawns. So this one is true. Incredibly, I didn't believe it when I read it, but as you can see, you drop it in and you can quickly attack it, but it doesn't look like you can get any drops at all. But yeah, spawns a goblin that says, my precious. It's impossible to get a Visage drop if you haven't spoken to Oziak or you haven't completed Dragon Slayer. This of course is a myth, and because the drop rate of Visages were so high back in the day, people thought that it was impossible to get one unless you spoke to Oziak first. The Abyssal whip is made from the Abyssal demon's spine that you just slayed. This is correct. The Abyssal Whip is made from the Abyssal Demon's spine, and you're effectively hitting things with an Abbey Demon's spine. Placing items on surfaces such as tables makes them despawn a lot slower. This is correct. Putting an item on a surface such as a table will mean that item will stay there for 5 minutes. In RuneScape Classic, you could have level 99 strength at combat level 3. This is true. Back in RuneScape Classic, you could use boosts over and over again, so a beer would raise your strength level by 3, and you could effectively drink loads and loads of beer until you had level 99 strength at level 3. Of course, your level didn't stay there, you'd have to keep drinking beers. The Dragonfire Shield special attack will give you HP, defense, and magic experience when used on an NPC, but when used on a player will only give defense XP. This is true, you do get HP, magic and defense XP when using the special on an NPC, but for some reason when using it on a player you only receive defense XP. RuneScape's first ever player was called Rab. This is true, Rab was the first person ever to play RuneScape that wasn't part of the developing team. In RuneScape Classic you only got combat XP once the monster had died. This is correct, very similar to how Slayer works today. You only get the XP once the monster has actually been slain, rather than every time you hit it individually. And that brings us straight into the next myth, which is you can get a pet while bank standing. This is true, and this works because of how the Slayer XP works. You can hit half of a monster's HP or just over and you'll get the drop, and if the drop involves a pet, you can get a pet while standing at a bank. And that brings us to our last myth of the day. If you use any hat on a hat stand, it will always fall off. This is true. For some reason, they decided that they were never gonna allow us to put hats on hat stands. I'm not gonna lie, before I looked this up, I didn't even know hat stands existed. Did anyone? Did you? Let me know. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you coming along and watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you did enjoy, please do let me know down below, and don't forget to get one of your comments in as well, so I can go and myth bust that as well. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Never gonna give you up, I'm never gonna let you go, never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give